Okay, in this video I'm going to cover something that I did mention a little bit on red flags about having a quick reactionary force in the militia for how to respond to a militiaman or someone getting red flagged. I haven't actually done a video on this, what it actually is. It's a quick reactionary force. This is a very common thing in the military. You can do this when you're in a guerrilla situation also, and it's highly, highly recommended. Now, some basic guidelines or guidance on this. Your QRF shifts should be 6 to 12 hours in length. No more than 50% of the QRF should be sleeping at any given time. Your gear should always be on or within arm's reach. And I will put in here also, your uniform with boots must be on even if you're sleeping. That includes your BDU blouse or shirt. Vehicles, if you have them, must always be topped off on fuel. Always. And the crew-served weapons must always be loaded and safety on. If the weapon does not have a safety like the older model M2 Browning 50 cals, for those, the ammunition would be, the ammo can would be open, it would be in the tray, the belt would be right there hanging over so that you could quickly open up the feed tray cover, drop the rounds in there, close the feed tray cover, rack the bolt, and get one in the chamber while you're responding to whatever threat is occurring. Now I have here just a general base to give you an idea on where the QRF is usually located. The QRF will either be located near a gate. If there's more than one, the QRF is either going to be centrally located between those gates, or more often than not, they'll be located right next to the headquarters for that camp, for that forward operating base, for that combat outpost, whatever it is. The size of the QRF is determined by the size of the force that is there. I have seen QRFs that if we were down at, say, company level, we would have a squad, maybe just a fire team. If it is a platoon that's in the field, it's just the one fire team that's on QRF. If it's on a larger facility, say battalion size, you could have a platoon that is the QRF and it's on a rotation, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. If it is a larger forward operating base, it could be an entire platoon to as much as a company. And you could have multiple QRFs on a facility that size, where you'll have a QRF near this gate and a QRF located near this gate. Now, the job of the QRF, when they're on QRF duties, quick reactionary force duties, the only thing they are doing is they are on alert status, waiting for if there's a problem, and they respond to it instantly. So the QRF must always have communications with gates and headquarters. If there's a problem at the gate that will require the QRF, say there's a gate being attacked, they put out the message over the radio, the QRF automatically responds. If there's a problem anywhere else on the perimeter, it gets called into the headquarters then notifies the QRF then responds to assist with taking out that threat. On conventional militaries, if there's a guerrilla force that is hitting a part of the perimeter, especially modern militaries, what we're in now, the QRF will get in their vehicles, they will deploy out the gate closest to where the attack is going. They will then come around the perimeter to try to flank the attacking force. During Vietnam, their QRF, when they had it, they were primarily responding either on foot or by helicopter. So if there's an attack over here, they would probably come down to the side of where the attack was going on and then move in along the side of the perimeter, either crossing out through a safe lane or stay right on the inside and then flank. It was also common that I heard in Vietnam where their QRFs, they would sometimes put on the outside. They would essentially have a patrol out that was on QRF duty, and if there was any enemy activity, then that patrol was then maneuvered over to them to either hit them on their flank or hit them from behind. It's pretty straightforward. These guys, as I said, the only duty they're doing when they're on their shift is QRF stuff. They do nothing else. Their weapons, you should not be cleaning your weapon when you're on QRF duty. It should already be done. If it does need to be cleaned, do it after your QRF shift is done, before your next one. Your magazines, everything should be loaded, your water topped off. You need to be, you know, not just a minute man, you need to be a 5-second man. Because as soon as the word comes out, QRF needs to be deployed, you know, they're grabbing their gear, tossing it on as they're coming out the door, going to where they're told to respond to that threat. So, pretty straightforward. As I said, you can do this in a guerrilla force. I'd recommend in that situation, we have our perimeter, probably no gates on it. Your QRF should be located in a bunker or some type of waiting area near the headquarters for that base camp or patrol base. Then when the call comes in that there's a problem somewhere, that call comes in by either messenger, comes in by radio, comes in by field phone. Someone in that headquarters immediately runs over, tells the QRF, hey, we got a problem over here, respond now. And they head over there, assess the situation, and respond. You can be deployed on the QRF to a particular area before you fully know what is going on. So you always have to be ready for anything. You have to have all your ordnances loaded on the vehicles or is ready for grabbing and going. I have been on QRF. When I was in a brigade headquarters, for some reason they liked using the engineers as the QRF. And we had to be prepared at all times to face enemy armor. We had to be prepared that we could end up with T-72s, T-80s, BMPs, or BTRs that could push through the front lines and then push its way towards the battalion headquarters. Well, as soon as we got the word, someone yelled out QRF, we would grab our weapons, toss on our body armor or gear if we didn't already have it on, and then we would go meet up at the door with whatever NCO was in charge of the QRF. Sitting next to the door would be our anti-tank weapons. At that particular time, AT-4s. Each person grabbed an AT-4, and you know, we went to wherever was required, wherever we had prepared for ambushing a potential armor or infantry threat. If it happened at night, it was probably going to be infantry trying to sneak in to attack the TOC. If it happened during the daytime, it was typically armor. That's just the way it was back then. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember, essayons.